We're back playing a game of Majestic13. So we've had our first 3 games and then we had our first special mission. We did awful in all of them, particularly the special mission where those false troopers, we killed one and then they obliterated the team quite quickly. So we are now playing our 4th mission. Tank has a questionable wound and so Tank is out for this game. I think we need to refit Tank. I think the whole of the melee type skill set and the melee type weapons is definitely not working. It's just a lack of damage output for the team, so we can't take down them on like a big creature. Doc lost his arm. So it's wilderness. We rolled a Deranger, so we're having our second matchup with the Deranger. We have our secondary objective is we have 2 alien artifacts that we need to come into contact with. It so happened to say that side of the table is going to be their side, the alien side. This side of the table is our side. So our 2 alien artifacts are, one is there and one is over here. The one that's inside the barn is going to be the type of special thing where you just need to touch the barn and then we will get it. Let's show you the other side of the table. So we have the 2 sides of the table. We have there you can see we have the barn. At the moment I've put the Deranger up so as you can see the Deranger. Over on the right hand side you can see that the Deranger has been busy being a stereotypical alien monstrosity and mutilating cattle. We have a orchard which was made a very long time ago. I made those trees. They're not as good as I can make now, but they've been sitting in a box for ages, so I thought I'd get them out and use them. We have the wheat field. Barn, which is a lovely barn, 3D printed from Corvus Games Terrain. It's really nice. Cap is deployed here. Doc is deployed here with some pigs inside this orchard. We have Snipes is deployed here, Speedy is deployed here, Tank is out of action, our Deranger is up there. Now for the special bit, the bureaucracy bit, we rolled underrated intel, all stats apart from defense of +3. We have the alien, the Deranger. It will be coming out on initiative 27. Then we have Speedy on 19, Cap on 18, Deranger again on 17, Doc on 16, Snipes on 14. I don't have high hopes. We will start with round 1. Okay, so we'll do Fubar +1. Oh, Fubar comes this turn, right now. Okay, well that makes it nice and quick and easy. D20, 3. 3 would normally be civilians, but I think we have something. Fubar 3 to 7, no event. Okay, no event, no Fubar event. So the Deranger. Not an extreme. If it starts its activation with no. If the monster starts its activation with no. Starts activation within movement distance of an enemy and there is no enemy within 1 inch, it will move to the enemy with the lowest hit points within its range attack and attack. Sweet. Sonic Lash. Sonic takes 3 attacks with Sonic Lash. So this is melee distance, so it needs to be up close. It has a dex. I shouldn't have written on the back of that one, should I? It has a dex of 26. Oh, okay. So it could. Alright, it will move up to here then, I suppose. Which, because of its huge size, or would it move? If it's got 26, we could say that. So up to there is a 19. That's 19 inches. It's got to jump down, clamber around at huge speeds for its size. So if it's a 26, it could probably, even with extra movement, get over here and attack these and just slaughter the pigs, because obviously it likes killing animals. I mean, look at these cattle. So okay, I'm gonna do the solo players oracle. 1 to 10 is going to do for these. 11 to 20 it will do for these. Natural 20. Okay, Cap and Doc. One-armed Doc is for the chop. So this will try to defend the alien artifact which is within this barn. So probably what happened was in a very much a Clark Kent type more of a Brightburn situation, probably, isn't it? That they found. I should have had like a burnt bit along here to show that they found an artifact, put it in there, and our Deranger has come to collect the artifact. It bounds down, lumbers across the car, but at great speed, comes over here, bounds the wall, and will end its turn, end its movement there. So it will attempt to do its Psionic Lash ability. The Deranger makes 3 attacks with its Psionic Lash. If this attack hits, the target must succeed on a dex stat check or be blinded. It makes 3 attacks, okay? Well, we'll say 1 against Doc, 1 against Cap, and it will slaughter this pig here. It's breakfast meat. This breakfast meat with legs. Let's see if it can roll. It has a 25 combat, so let's see if it can roll over 4. I'll roll 2 dice. Red one is against Cap, green one is against Doc. Against Cap rolls a natural. They both roll natural 1. That's amazing. I just rolled 2 1s. I'm going to show you that. I just rolled 2 1s. I don't know whether you're going to see that and focus into that, but I just rolled 2 1s. Okay. All right. Okay. So it's run across there, run around here, landed there, and it's slipped. Well, let's roll for the pig. A natural 20. A natural 20 would have been so funny, but it was a 6. So it only just hits the pig. This pig is slaughtered. The pig's for the slaughter. So we'll put as I seem to on here, instead of removing from the table, I'll put them on the side. That pig's dead. Okay. Well, the Deranger went. So now we've got Speedy. So Speedy is only has a dex of 10. This thing's come over here now. Speedy's here. Speedy was going to head over to there, but I think we need to start laying damage. We need to start learning about laying damage. If Speedy moves to here, being 3 inches, what does it get to go? No, Speedy's not going to be able to get over to this side of the wall, so Speedy will just fire from there across at this thing here. It's bigger than the wall. I don't really think it could justify having cover being big, though it is with these. It's kind of in the edge of this, kind of on the base, so I will give it cover. All right. So Speedy has an 11 plus the lowest of these, which would be a 4, which is a 15, which means it misses. So Speedy fires and misses. Next is Cap, isn't it? Yep. So Cap is standing right next to it. I think Cap will have to try and get away from it and then open up with the rocket launcher, even though Doc is in the way. As long as he doesn't miss, I think we should be alright. So Cap will move back from it, back behind the tree, so he's still in the same terrain, so it doesn't get a benefit from the terrain. I think I used the red one. That red one was quite good. So Cap doesn't have to roll 2. Cap has a combat of 16, so Cap needs to roll a 9 or more. An 11, so Cap hits. So Cap fires the grenade launcher. The grenade comes out, dodging through the trees, and smacks bang into the Deranger. Cap does 4d6 plus 2, basically. Doing oh wow, 6. Wow, that's a lot of 6s out of 4 discs. So we've got 12, 17 plus 3, 20, 22 points of damage on the Deranger. Dropping it from 175 which is to 153. Now the Deranger gets to go again. So the Deranger has begun its turn activating with 1 inch of an enemy it did not attack during its last activation. It will attack that enemy. What's Nightmare Pulse? If the Deranger did not use Nightmare Pulse during its last activation, it will now use this action. All enemies within 12 inches of the Deranger must make a successful Fortitude stat check or suffer 2d6 plus 2 damage and be stunned. Okay. Who's within 12 inches? Wouldn't you know it? Everyone. Well, that makes sense. So it will do it will try and stun everyone because it failed to attack and then it got attacked, and then it will peg it off. Probably around here somewhere if it can make the move. So it will fire off its Nightmare Pulse, woof, affecting everyone. So everyone has to make a fortitude check at 19. So we will start. I'll take this with us. I'll start at the top. We'll come over here. Move these over here. So Cap has a fortitude of 11. Rolled an 18. Cap passes. Speedy, a fortitude of 12. Rolls a 10. Passes. Doc, fortitude of 14. Rolls a 9. So that makes a 23. Passes. And Snipes, fortitude of 10 rather. Rolls a 4. Fails. So Snipe fails. Which means that Snipe takes 2d6 plus 2 damage and is stunned. So Snipe takes 5 points of damage and is stunned, putting Snipes on 20 hit points. It will then leg its 26 movement, and it could definitely get there and then get around behind here. Oh, I don't know why I make it hard for myself all the time. That was the Deranger. Now we have Doc. Doc has his pistol, dexterity of 13. No, he can't get on top of the tractor. I'm just going to leg it across to here to at least start to get closer, hiding behind the massive tyre, and then he's going to attempt to call in the airstrike. 5. Damn. Okay, and then we have Snipes. Snipes might just climb on top of... Snipes has to try and clear stun first. That is a fortitude check at target number 20. Snipes has a fortitude of 10. So he needs to roll a 10 or more. 9 fails. So that means stunned is their combat and dex scores are halved. Rolled down. So it gives him a 3 movement. Cannot get to the top of that because that is 3 inches. So we could say it's got to there in the old, if it sits it fits because he is sitting, but I don't think he can see. Oh, he kind of can from here, but because Snipes moved, Snipes doesn't have any of the bonuses and his combat score is half, so I'm going to roll to shoot anyway. Lowest score is a 6. There's no way he's got a 25. 17 halved. What's that? 8 8. It's a 9 plus 6. So that's a 15. No. Okay. So that was Snipes, and that's the end of round 1. So at the top we have our Deranger. Starts activation within its movement distance of an enemy, and there is no enemy with 1 inch. It will move the enemy with the lowest hit points within its range and attack. Okay, so what have we got attack wise? What it will do is it's got Psionic Lash. It will attempt to do Psionic Lash, which means it will move. Probably it's going to come down and it's going to attempt to attack Snipes and Doc, who's over there. I don't think it can get to Speedy as well because this says it's melee, but because of his size I'm happy for him to Snipes, who's halfway up the tractor, and Doc, who's on the ground. So definitely within its move it can, I'm going to make it luck because it can definitely get round, so it's going to climb up to here. Everyone goes, oh bugger. It jumps down and lumbers across, ending here, so as it can attack both Doc and Snipes. It has a combat of 25, as we said before, so Red is Snipes, green is Doc. Oh, that's unbelievable. It rolls a 1 against Snipes and a 6 against Doc. So it only just hits Doc by 1 point, which is pretty weird. Sonic Lash, which is 1d6 plus 2 damage. And if it hits, so Doc has to make a Dex stat check against 18 or be blinded, and he takes 6 plus 2, 8 points damage. So Doc takes 8 points, putting Doc on 11, and Doc then rolls a 12 plus, rolls 25, which means he passes the test, so does not, so he ducks, so he doesn't get the tentacle across the face, or a psionic, isn't it? Psionic Lash, so it doesn't get lashed by the psionic whatevers and doesn't become blinded, but does take damage. Alright, next we have Speedy. So Speedy, who has a move of 10, is going to dart across here and can only do as a straight line straight over here, and then attempt to shoot the Deranger without cover this time. Speedy has a combat of 11. I'll use the very swingy red d20. 16 plus 11 makes it 27. 27 is enough to hit. The SAAT does a 2d6 plus 1 because of our weapon center, doing 4 and 4, 8, doing 9 points of damage to the Deranger, leaving it on 149, no, 144. It has 144 hit points left. Okay. So after Speedy Caleb, we then have Cap, who is still here. So Cap will come back over to the fence line. Speedy's standing in pig. Over to the fence line, and we'll open up on the Deranger, and there is no minuses. Cap has a 20 with the 18 plus 2 for the targeting assist, minus 4 because it's a grenade launcher, so thus being a 16. Rolling a 7. So what's that? So that's 6 and 6. So that's 23. I don't think that hits. Nope. Defensive 25. We needed you not to miss. Okay. Now it is the Deranger. So the Deranger starts the activation with enemy. It starts the activation within 1 inch of enemy. It did attack. It will move up to its 4 hit points distance towards the enemy with the lowest hit points within its range and make its first listed attack on its profile. Okay, so that is the Psionic Lash again. If it did not use Nightmare Pulse during its last activation, it will now use this action. So instead it will Nightmare Pulse because it didn't use it using its last activation. So it will Nightmare Pulse, and because it can get all of these lot. Easy peasy. Okay, so reminding myself again, Nightmare Pulse. All enemies must make a Fortitude 19 check. So we will start with Cap, who has Fortitude of 11. Rolls a 3. Cap fails. Speedy, Fortitude of 12. Rolls a 15. Passes. Doc, Fortitude 14. Rolls a 4. That's an 18. That is an 18. What did I say needs? Needs a 19. So fails. So Doc fails. So Cap fails. Doc fails. Snipes. 17. Snipes fails. Okay. So we have Doc takes 2d6 plus 2. Doc takes 8 points. Minus 1 because Doc's fault, which I forgot last time, so I'll make that minus 2. So instead of being 6, that's 4 points. Putting Doc on 7 hit points. Who else failed? Cap failed and Snipes failed, didn't they? Cap takes 6 plus 1 is 7. This Cap takes 7, putting Cap on 19. And then we've got Snipes, and Snipes failed. Snipes takes 7, putting Snipes on 13 hit points. Doc is stunned. Cap is stunned. Okay, and that was the Deranger's second go, wasn't it? So now we have Doc. So Doc is stunned. So Doc is going to attempt to get rid of his stun, which is the fortitude check at 20, and Doc has a fortitude of 14. So Doc rolls a natural 20, so Doc gets rid of his stun. Doc will do his move. Oh, really? Should he shoot or should he heal? So if Doc moves over to here, hiding behind the metal bit, it's probably better for him to try and heal himself. He can heal a d6 plus 4, which would put him almost at full if we rolled a 6. So he's going to crouch behind here, crack out the medical kit and start to heal himself. Healing 7 hit points, putting him on 14. Which is better because the Deranger doesn't do huge amounts of damage. And finally we have Snipes, who is up there and stunned. So Snipes might as well try and get rid of it, so as he can get rolling a 9 plus fortitude of 10, 19 failing. Did I say his combat is halved? Stunned is, yes, combat and dex scores. So Snipes has a combat technically of 9. So Snipes is going to shoot down with the sniper rifle and try and score high. So he's got a 9 plus 12 is 21, so it misses. Bugger, we've not been hitting at all. And that is the end of round 2. If it runs across here, it is within melee distance of both Cap and Speedy. Yes, so it will run across here, down here, because it's within melee distance of Cap and Speedy. So it will run down and it's going to do Psionic Lash. Psionic Lash, it will make 3 attacks. Okay, so it's going to do 2 attacks because I've only got 2. It has a 25. So red is Cap, green is Speedy. Cap takes it. That misses both. So Cap rolled a 3 plus 25, 28, misses. Speedy rolled a 4 plus 25, 29, misses. This thing is not doing very well. I mean, the team's not taking it down, but it's missing all the time. Okay, so it missed. It did its move, and then it missed. Speedy will move down behind the trees, so it's still in the same cover as he is, doesn't get the cover bonus, but he can't get outside of 12 inches anyway, and then Speedy is going to open fire on it. 14? I don't think that hits because I think Speedy is goes to 10. No, it's 11. So plus 14 is 25. 25 is its defense. Speedy does 2d6 plus 1. Being 7, being 8 points. So Speedy does 8 points on the Deranger. Taking it to 132. 132. No, 136. 8 points is 136. Next we have Cap. Cap is stunned, so Cap needs to make a 20 fort check. Rolled in the 6, that will fail. So Cap's dex is halved. I think he will just stay where he is and then open up point blank range with the rocket launcher, which would be a 20. Well, no, it's an 18. Halved is 9. Plus 2 is 11. Minus 4 is a 7. Let's go for the red. 13 plus 7 is 20, so that misses. So he stood still, opened fire, so now he will attempt to run away. Half move means it's 5 inches, which probably is behind that tree there. That's probably not even 5 inches, which makes me feel more comfortable that I just did that. Okay, now the Deranger gets to go again. So he is not within, if there starts activation within movement distance enemy and there are no enemies within 1 inches, it is. It will then move to the enemy with the lowest hit points and within its range and attack. I reckon that is Doc. No, it's actually Snipes. Snipes has 13 hit points left. Alright, so it is going to move across. Or it could attempt to do Pulse. Because we have got everyone is within. It didn't do Pulse last turn. And everyone is within range. So it might as well do Pulse. Nightmare Pulse. If the Deranger did not use Nightmare Pulse during its last activation, it will now use this action. All enemies 12 inches must make a fortitude. Okay, so fortitude 19. So we will start with Cap. Cap, fault 11, 6. Cap fails. Speedy passes. Doc passes. He got a 24. Snipes got a 25, so pass. So Cap was the only one who failed. Which means that Cap suffers 2d6 damage and he's stunned. He's already stunned. So he takes 3 plus 2 is 5. So Cap takes 5 points, putting Cap on 14 hit points. Okay, so that was the Deranger's second go. I suppose now it might leg it. Going to leg it to try and get away from being able to be attacked. So it's zigzagging around. So that was its second go. So now we have Doc. Doc, so what are we on? We're on turn 3. Doc will attempt to call in the airstrike. So we have 3 minus 1 is 2 plus 1 is failed. So Doc fails to call in the airstrike. So he will then move 10 inches. Oh, he could have shot it. Nah, calling the airstrike does more damage. He is going to move to here. Because maybe that means that Doc can sacrifice himself on the Deranger's next turn. And then we've got Snipes, who is up here. Snipes will attempt to get rid of his stun. Rolling a 2, failing. So Snipes combat is still halved. He will attempt to make his shot, which is a 9 plus. He's not moved. He's just about to see the top of his head because he's still in the same place. 9 plus 2 is an 11, so failing the shot. Our monstrosity will run through its thing again. No. Yes, it is within movement distance of 1 enemy. Okay, so it is going to Sonic Lash Doc. It will run up to Doc and it is going to attempt to do at least 2 attacks on Doc. So it will run up to Doc, bounding over here, and it's going to come over here so it can actually be within Doc's range. Also, because then it exposes itself so as I can shoot it. So it's a bit cheaty, and does 2 attacks against Doc. A 17 and a 12 definitely hits. So both of those Sonic Lashes attack Doc. So Doc takes 2d6 plus 4 and has to make, I'm going to have to get him to make 2 dex checks, otherwise fails. So 2d6 plus 4 damage, being 8, being 12 points of damage. That might already down Doc. No, that puts Doc on 2 hit points. And then Doc needs to make 2 18 dex checks. So he has a 13, so he needs to roll 5 or more, and he rolls 5 or more, so he's not blinded. So the Deranger runs up, lashes at Doc. Doc is almost knocked out, and then the Deranger stays where he is. Speedy! Speedy, speedy, speedy. Speedy came over here, didn't he? Speedy can get a shot from there, but it's going to be at minuses. I reckon he's going to be at minuses whatever Speedy does. Speedy can move, half move through all the trees and the crushed up apples that are on the floor, all smelling of apple cider, to the edge here, and he's going to attempt to make a shot across this high stone fence wall, and this wall against the Deranger over here. The Deranger's cover. Lowest roll of 5. There's no way Speedy hits from that. Next we have Cap. Cap will attempt to relieve his stunned. I rolled a 5. I don't think that's going to do it. That's a fault check, isn't it? So that makes it 16, so that's a no. So where is he? So he can move to here and not get a minus for his attack, but he is still on an 11. Plus 3 is 14, so the rocket goes over and explodes over here and misses, which means the Deranger has his next attack. Doc is within 12 inches if it stands there. If it comes and stands here and then does the Nightmare Pulse, will affect all of them, including the pigs, but the sheep might get away scot-free. Okay, so everyone has to make a 19 fault check. So Cap passes. Speedy fouls. Doc passes, and Snipes fails. So we've got Speedy and Snipes fails. So they both take 2d6 plus 2. So Speedy takes 5 points, and Snipes takes, damn, that's a double 6. So Snipes takes 14 points. Pretty sure Snipes is out. Snipes is out. That's 1 point over what Snipes got. And 5 points for Speedy is Speedy's first damage. Speedy goes to 22 hit points. Snipes tumbles off of the tractor and lands on the ground, looking, maybe writhing on the ground, because it's a Nightmare Pulse, isn't it? Maybe Snipes is writhing on the ground, screaming, clutching at his head. That was the Deranger's second turn. So now we've got Doc. Doc attempt to call in the airstrike. We've got a 2, plus 4 is 6, minus 1 is 5. 8, no one's listening. No one's on the other end of the telephone. So then we're at the end of turn 4. Did do the Sonic Lash. No, it did do Nightmare Pulse. So now, because it's not within range of anyone, it will do Psionic Lash, unless there's something. Is anyone blinded? No one's blinded, but someone is stunned. It can only attack one of them. Who's got the lowest hit point? Doc is on 2 hit points. Yes. So it's going to run over to Doc, doing 2 attacks on Doc as normal. Anything less than 5 misses. 2 hits. It can do 6 points. Doc has 2 points remaining. So it stands over Doc, lashing tentacles down into the ground. Doc gets basically embedded into the soft turf on the bottom of the ground at the start of turn 5. Now it's now Speedy's turn. Speedy's going to run across here to here and attempt to shoot across, maybe climb up onto the tire a bit and attempt to shoot across at the Deranger. I'm going to give the Deranger cover because Speedy's having to sort of clamber and be a bit difficult in standing around. We have a nat 1 and a 9, so Speedy misses. And then Cap is going to attempt to make sure that they are apart, so it can only do one of them. Cap is going to, with his half movement, which would give him a 5, he's going to move. Oh, actually, first off, Cap will attempt to. Who is within. So he gets 4 hit points back. Putting him on 140, because I remembered that at last. Cap attempts to get rid of stun, rolling a 12. Plus his 40, which gets rid of stun. Good, good, good. Cap can easily move his full move over to here, so they are definitely far apart. But they can still get lashed, I suppose. And then that Cap will launch his rocket launcher without needing cover, getting a 10, which is plus 18, so that's 30 minus 4 is 26. It's 26, so it only hits by 1 point, doing 4d6 plus 2. 9, 10, 11, 14, 16, 30, 24, 124. So we got it down to 124 hit points, and that's the end of its turn. Well, that's the end. It's about to do an attack on these two, which you can definitely do because they're 12 inches apart. So it will run to here, and it will do a Nightmare Pulse, which means they both have to make 19 fort checks. Cap as a 20 makes it. Speedy is a 22, makes it. Okay, and that would be the end of turn 5, which is the end of the game. We didn't do too badly. We didn't take the monstrosity down, but we do have 2 people standing, which is one of the best results we've had so far. We have 2 deaths, but we'll see what happens to them afterwards. And the monstrosity gets away, but does not get its artifacts, which are still left lying around. And that is the end of that.